Imagine this. It's a quiet morning. Steam curls gently from your bowl of oatmeal, filling the air with that familiar, comforting scent. You take the first spoonful, warm, soft, and wholesome, convinced you're doing your heart a favor. And maybe, for years, you've sprinkled a handful of fresh fruit on top, believing you were giving your body an even bigger boost. But what if I told you that this very habit, this little healthy ritual you've carried for decades, could be silently stealing the strength from your muscles? Yes, robbing the very power in your legs and arms that you need to stay independent, steady, and full of life. My name is Margaret Lane. I've spent the last 20 years helping people over 60 rediscover their energy, rebuild their strength, and keep doing the things they love, without letting age dictate the pace. And I've seen this mistake far too often. I've met countless folks who truly wanted to do the right thing. They'd wake up, prepare their oatmeal, top it with fruit, and head into the day thinking they'd fueled themselves well. But here's the truth nobody told them: pairing the wrong kind of fruit with your morning oats can lead to mid-morning fatigue, slower recovery after activity, and even accelerate muscle loss as the years pass. Today, I'm going to reveal the 4 fruits you should stop mixing into your oatmeal immediately if you're over 60 and want to protect your muscle strength. More importantly, I'll share what to enjoy instead, so your breakfast still feels satisfying, delicious, and nourishing, while helping your body stay strong, balanced, and ready for every adventure that lies ahead. If oatmeal is how you start your day, this could be the most important change you make for your health this year. And if you find this helpful, I'd love to hear from you. Share your thoughts in the comments, hit that like button, pass this along to someone you care about, and subscribe so you won't miss the next tip that could change the way you age. The first fruit we need to talk about might surprise you. It's that bright, juicy, sunshine-colored group we all know as citrus, especially oranges and grapefruit. Now, don't get me wrong. On their own, citrus fruits are wonderfully healthy, loaded with vitamin C, antioxidants, and that refreshing tang that can wake you up faster than a splash of cold water on your face. But when you slice them up and drop them into your morning oatmeal, the story changes. Here's what most people don't realize: the natural acids in citrus can quietly interfere with how your body digests oats. Oatmeal is rich in complex carbohydrates, a slow-burning fuel your body breaks down with the help of special enzymes called amylase. These enzymes do their best work in a slightly alkaline environment. The moment you add a high-acid fruit like orange or grapefruit into the mix, you change that environment. Think of it like suddenly turning the road from smooth asphalt into a muddy trail. The enzymes can still move, but they're slowed down, delayed, and sometimes blocked entirely. And when your oats aren't broken down efficiently, your body can't fully absorb all those steady, sustaining nutrients you think you're getting. But the impact goes even deeper, right to your muscle health. When digestion slows this way, it can also delay how quickly amino acids, the building blocks of protein, reach your muscles. And without those building blocks arriving on time, your muscles get a weaker rebuild signal. It's like having the construction materials ready, but your delivery truck is stuck in traffic. The worksite is waiting, but the supplies don't come until it's too late in the day to get the job done. There's another twist, too. Citrus fruits are full of beneficial plant compounds called flavonoids, powerful antioxidants. But some of these flavonoids can bind to proteins and minerals inside your digestive tract, making them harder for your body to absorb. When you're over 60 and actively trying to keep your muscles strong, this binding effect can quietly work against you. I've seen this play out over and over. People tell me they feel bloated, heavy, or just off a couple of hours after eating their healthy oatmeal topped with orange slices. Some even describe it as if their stomach is fighting against itself the rest of the morning. The solution? It's not about cutting citrus from your life. It's about timing. Have your oatmeal first, and enjoy your orange or grapefruit an hour later. This simple shift can mean more energy, better digestion, and stronger, better-fed muscles. Both oatmeal and citrus can be part of a truly healthy diet, but together, at the same time? That's where the problem lies. The next fruit on our list might surprise you even more. Golden, tropical, and bursting with flavor, pineapple often wears the crown as a digestion-friendly superfruit. After all, it's packed with bromelain, an enzyme that can help break down protein. So why would I tell you to keep it out of your oatmeal bowl? The problem isn't bromelain itself. It's the combination of pineapple's high natural sugar, its acidity, and the way it interacts with the slow-burning carbs in your oats. When you eat pineapple alongside oatmeal, you're creating the perfect conditions for your blood sugar to spike, and spike fast. Much faster than oatmeal alone would ever do. And that rapid rise sets off a chain reaction. Your body responds by releasing a surge of insulin, the hormone that ushers nutrients into your cells. Insulin is vital, but when it floods your system in large amounts over a short time, it changes your body's priorities. Instead of focusing on muscle repair and protein synthesis, your system shifts into high gear to manage that sugar. Protein building? That gets bumped down the list. Here's the science in numbers. Pineapple has a glycemic index of about 73, considered high. An apple, for comparison, is only around 36. So when you pair pineapple with oatmeal, which already raises blood sugar moderately, you've essentially built the perfect sugar storm. And there's more. Once that sugar rush hits, it almost always comes with an equally fast drop, the dreaded mid-morning crash. You feel tired, hungry again, and your focus slips. For older adults, whose blood sugar control is naturally less efficient, this roller coaster can be especially draining. Bromelain also has its quirks. While it works well in acidic conditions, mixing it with the more alkaline components of oats can reduce its effectiveness. And in some people, the bromelain-oatmeal combo may actually interfere with starch digestion, leading to bloating or discomfort. I'll never forget working with James Harper, a 68-year-old retiree with a love for tropical flavors. Every morning, without fail, he'd mix fresh pineapple chunks into his oatmeal. He ate well, exercised regularly, but kept telling me his strength training results just weren't showing up, and that around mid-morning, he'd feel sluggish, almost foggy, and desperate for another snack or cup of coffee. When we simply moved his pineapple to later in the day, away from his high-protein breakfast, the change was remarkable. Within a month, his post-workout recovery improved, his energy stayed steady all morning, and for the first time in years, he felt like his efforts at the gym were actually paying off. The takeaway? Pineapple is a nutrient-rich, delicious fruit with plenty of benefits. But if your goal is to keep your muscles strong after 60, it's best to enjoy it later in the day, not stirred into your breakfast oats. Now, this next fruit might just be the most surprising of all. Grapes, those tiny, juicy jewels that seem so innocent, often get tossed into oatmeal for a touch of sweetness and freshness. They're easy, portable, and look beautiful in the bowl. But here's the hidden truth: grapes have a very high glycemic impact. In other words, they can send your blood sugar soaring, fast and hard. When you pair grapes, which have a glycemic index of around 62, with oatmeal, itself a solid source of carbohydrates, you create what nutritionists call a glycemic overload. It's like opening the floodgates and letting sugar rush into your bloodstream all at once. And grapes come with another twist: they're rich in fructose. Unlike other sugars, fructose takes a direct route to your liver for processing. In the early hours of the morning, your liver is already busy restoring your blood sugar levels after an overnight fast. Add a load of fructose on top of that, and you're giving it an extra metabolic challenge it doesn't really need at that moment. This spike in blood sugar triggers the same insulin surge we talked about earlier. And while insulin is vital, too much, too fast can shove muscle building to the back of the line. It can also stir up inflammation in the digestive system, making it harder for your body to absorb the nutrients your muscles depend on. For older adults, there's another risk: reactive hypoglycemia. That's when a rapid rise in blood sugar is followed by a sharp, sometimes dramatic drop. One minute you feel fine, the next, you're shaky, fatigued, and craving more sugar. It's a blood sugar roller coaster that doesn't just drain your energy, it chips away at your overall resilience. Here's the part most people don't realize. Just half a cup of grapes contains around 15 grams of sugar, nearly 4 teaspoons. Add the carbohydrates from your oatmeal, and you're starting your day with a significant sugar load your body has to process before it can focus on anything else, including muscle repair. And over time, repeated spikes like this can make your body less sensitive to insulin. That insulin resistance means your muscles will struggle even more to get the nutrients they need. It's a vicious cycle, one that works directly against muscle strength and overall vitality. There's also a lesser-known connection between blood sugar spikes and inflammation that's worth mentioning. When sugar levels rise quickly, your body can produce inflammatory compounds called advanced glycation end products, or AGEs. These AGEs interfere with how proteins function throughout your body, including the very proteins your muscles rely on to repair, rebuild, and stay strong. The bottom line? Grapes may be a refreshing, nutritious snack, but they don't belong in your oatmeal bowl if your goal is steady energy and lasting muscle health after 60. And finally, the last fruit on our list may be sitting quietly in your pantry right now. Sweet, chewy, and often dressed up as a healthy breakfast booster, dried fruits like raisins, dried cranberries, and dates. I understand the appeal. They're convenient, shelf-stable, and yes, they do contain some beneficial nutrients. But when it comes to protecting your muscle strength after 60, adding dried fruit to your oatmeal can quietly work against you. Here's why. The drying process removes water, leaving the natural sugars highly concentrated. A quarter cup of raisins has about the same sugar as a full cup of fresh grapes, but without the water that slows down absorption. Drop them into your oatmeal, and you've essentially created a sugar bomb that can spike your blood sugar almost instantly. Let's put that in perspective. Just 2 tablespoons of raisins hold around 15 grams of sugar, nearly 4 teaspoons of refined sugar. And that's before we even count the carbs in the oats themselves. Many people pour in more than 2 tablespoons without thinking, and that hidden sugar adds up fast. Then there's the added sugar problem. Commercial dried fruits often come with sweeteners and preservatives that place extra strain on digestion. Take dried cranberries, for example, naturally very tart. To make them palatable, manufacturers usually coat them in sugar. Some varieties are also treated with sulfites to preserve color and extend shelf life, and for sensitive individuals, these chemicals can interfere with nutrient absorption. Because dried fruits are lightweight and bite-sized, it's easy to overeat without realizing it. That casual small handful can deliver the sugar equivalent of multiple servings of fresh fruit, but without the fiber and water to help slow the release into your bloodstream. The result? Stronger, faster blood sugar spikes. Here's another detail many people overlook: calorie density. 1 cup of fresh grapes? Around 60 calories. 1 cup of raisins? Nearly 500. It's shockingly easy to overshoot your calorie and sugar needs, which can contribute to unwanted weight gain and metabolic stress. The impact on muscle health mirrors what we've already discussed with fresh grapes: high sugar disrupting protein synthesis, and over time, contributing to insulin resistance. But with dried fruit, the effect is often more intense because of that concentrated sugar load. And while it might sound unrelated, there's also a dental health angle. Dried fruits are sticky, clinging to teeth and feeding bacteria that cause decay. For older adults, dental issues can limit protein intake, not because you don't want it, but because chewing becomes difficult. This, in turn, can trigger a chain reaction that affects overall nutrition and muscle maintenance. The takeaway? Dried fruits can be part of a balanced diet, but in very small amounts, and ideally away from your protein-rich oatmeal. When it comes to your first meal of the day, think less about sweetness, and more about fueling your strength for the hours ahead. Now that we've covered the 4 fruits best kept out of your oatmeal bowl, let's talk about what you can do instead. And remember, the goal here isn't to ban these fruits from your life. It's about timing and pairing, so you can still enjoy the flavors you love while giving your muscles and energy levels the best possible start. Let's begin with citrus fruits. If you adore oranges, grapefruits, or other tangy citrus, enjoy them as a standalone snack, ideally at least an hour after your oatmeal. That gap gives your digestive system time to process the oats without the acidic interference we talked about earlier. Many of my clients find that a mid-morning orange not only satisfies a sweet craving but gives them a refreshing energy lift that lasts until lunch. Think of your digestive system like a skilled worker. It performs best when it can focus on one task at a time. By separating oatmeal and citrus, you're allowing each food to be broken down efficiently, meaning better nutrient absorption and a steadier energy flow. For pineapple lovers, the secret is to move it later in the day, perhaps in the afternoon or early evening. In the right setting, pineapple's natural enzymes can actually help your digestion. A small serving after a protein-rich lunch or dinner can be especially beneficial, as bromelain helps break down protein. Some of my clients like pairing pineapple with a small handful of seeds or nuts in the afternoon. The healthy fats help balance the sugar impact while keeping hunger in check. Grapes can also shine when paired wisely. Try enjoying a modest portion with almonds or walnuts as a late afternoon snack. The combination of protein and healthy fats slows down sugar absorption, preventing the dramatic highs and lows that happen when grapes are eaten on their own. Instead of a quick burst followed by a crash, you get smooth, steady energy that carries you comfortably towards your next meal. When it comes to dried fruit, fresh is always better when possible. But if you do want to indulge now and then, keep the portion small and always pair it with a protein or healthy fat to soften the blood sugar spike. For example, a few raisins mixed with almonds can be a tasty snack. Just don't toss dried fruit into your oatmeal, where it compounds the carb load and sugar surge. These small shifts aren't about making your breakfast boring, they're about making your breakfast work for you, not against you. So, now that we've talked about what not to mix into your morning oatmeal, let's flip the script. What should you be adding instead, to support strong muscles, steady energy, and a healthier you after 60? Here are some of my favorite choices. First up, a scoop of high-quality protein powder. This single step can transform your oatmeal from a simple carb-based breakfast into a true muscle-building meal. When choosing a protein powder, look for one that contains all the essential amino acids. If you tolerate dairy, whey protein is excellent. It's absorbed quickly and is especially rich in leucine, the amino acid that sparks muscle protein synthesis. If you prefer plant-based, choose a blend of different sources, like pea, hemp, and brown rice protein, so you get a complete amino acid profile. Next, nuts, walnuts, almonds, or pecans. Not only do they add satisfying crunch, but they bring healthy fats, extra protein, and minerals like magnesium and zinc that your muscles crave. Walnuts are my top pick here. Their omega-3 fatty acids help reduce inflammation and aid recovery after activity. Almonds are wonderful for their protein content and vitamin E, a powerful antioxidant that shields muscle tissue from oxidative stress. Don't forget seeds. Chia seeds, ground flaxseed, or pumpkin seeds all offer protein, healthy fats, and key minerals for muscle function. Chia seeds, with their unique gel-forming quality, slow digestion, and keep your energy steady. Ground flaxseed is a rich source of omega-3s and lignans, which fight inflammation. Pumpkin seeds are a magnesium powerhouse, vital for proper muscle contraction, and deliver zinc to help your body build new muscle proteins. If you want sweetness without the sugar spike, think spices and extracts instead of syrups. A splash of unsweetened vanilla extract, a sprinkle of cinnamon, or a pinch of nutmeg can make your oatmeal taste like dessert without the damage. Cinnamon has the added benefit of improving insulin sensitivity, which helps your body channel nutrients into your muscles instead of storing them as fat. Nutmeg brings a warm, comforting flavor and contains compounds that may even support better sleep, an underrated factor in muscle recovery. And for those who miss having fruit in their breakfast, the best option by far is berries. Blueberries, raspberries, and blackberries are naturally lower in sugar than the fruits we discussed earlier, and they're loaded with antioxidants to reduce inflammation and speed recovery. They have a gentler effect on blood sugar, meaning they won't disrupt the muscle-building process. Their deep colors come from anthocyanins, powerful compounds that help protect muscle tissue from exercise-related damage. If you decide to add berries to your oatmeal, start small, around a quarter cup, and pay attention to how your body responds. Even berries can affect blood sugar in those who are particularly sensitive, so it's worth noticing how you feel afterward. Here's how I'd build a true muscle-supporting oatmeal breakfast. Start with steel-cut oats whenever possible. They're less processed and release energy more steadily than instant oats. Cook with water or unsweetened plant milk, and add a pinch of salt to bring out flavor. While the oats cook, prepare your protein boost, whether it's a scoop of protein powder, a dollop of Greek yogurt once the oats cool slightly, or a couple of eggs served alongside. Stir in nuts and seeds while the oatmeal is still warm so they release their aroma. A tablespoon of chopped walnuts with a teaspoon of chia seeds is a perfect start. Add cinnamon or vanilla extract for flavor, and berries on top once the oats have cooled a bit, about a quarter cup to begin with. When you approach breakfast this way, you're no longer just eating oatmeal. You're building your first meal into an engine for muscle strength, fueling your day with steady energy and giving your body exactly what it needs to stay strong, mobile, and independent. Let me leave you with an example of a morning routine that many of my clients have found life-changing. They wake up and start the day with a glass of water, simple, refreshing, and the perfect way to rehydrate after a night's rest. Then they prepare their muscle-boosting oatmeal, just the way we've discussed. They sit down, eat slowly, savoring each bite instead of rushing through the meal. About an hour later, if they still want one of the fruits we talked about earlier, they enjoy it as a separate snack. This approach gives your body the best of both worlds. A breakfast that supports muscle strength and steady energy, and the opportunity to enjoy a variety of fruits throughout the day, without letting them interfere with your nutritional goals. And here's something important to remember: change doesn't have to happen all at once. You can start small. Maybe you remove just one of the 4 fruits from your oatmeal at first, and see how you feel. Many people are amazed to notice more energy, better digestion, and improved stamina in as little as 1 to 2 weeks. As we wrap up today's conversation, I want you to carry this with you. Small, intentional changes can lead to big improvements in how you feel, move, and age. The 4 fruits we've discussed, citrus, pineapple, grapes, and dried fruit, aren't bad foods. They simply work better for your muscle health when eaten at a different time and paired in a smarter way. Your morning oatmeal can absolutely remain a healthy, enjoyable part of your daily rhythm. By adding quality protein, nuts, seeds, and timing your fruit intake wisely, you're laying a foundation for better energy, stronger muscles, and lasting vitality as the years go by. I truly hope today's talk has given you practical, doable steps you can start using tomorrow morning. You have far more control over your health and strength than you may realize, and it starts with the very first meal of your day. If you found this helpful, I'd love to hear from you. Tell me in the comments which change you'll try first. And if you know someone who could benefit from this, share it with them. Don't forget to tap the like button and subscribe, so you'll never miss the next tip that could help you stay strong, healthy, and full of life.